In the heart of the Roman Republic, a man was born who would change the course of history forever. His name was Gaius Julius Caesar. Born in 100 BC into a noble but not particularly wealthy family, his early life was marked by the turmoil of a republic in crisis. From a young age, Caesar displayed a sharp intellect and a burning ambition that set him apart from his peers. His journey began not with a sword, but with words. As a young lawyer, he captivated the Roman Forum with his eloquence, prosecuting corrupt officials and making powerful enemies. But the world of politics was a dangerous game. Fleeing the wrath of the dictator Sulla, Caesar was captured by pirates in the Aegean Sea. In a display of his legendary confidence, he didn't just negotiate his ransom, he laughed at their demands, insisting they double the price. Once freed, he hunted them down and crucified them, a chilling promise of the ruthless determination that would define his career. Returning to Rome, Caesar climbed the cursus honorum, the traditional sequence of public offices. He became known for his extravagant public games and his ability to connect with the common people, the plebeians, who saw in him a champion against the entrenched aristocracy. His charm was magnetic, his political instincts razor-sharp. He forged a powerful, albeit informal alliance known as the First Triumvirate with two of Rome's most powerful men, Pompey the Great, a renowned general, and Marcus Licinius Crassus, the wealthiest man in Rome. This pact gave them unprecedented control over the Republic, bypassing the Senate and reshaping Roman politics to serve their own ambitions. But Caesar's true genius would be revealed not in the marble halls of Rome, but on the battlefields of Gaul. As governor of the province, he embarked on a series of brilliant military campaigns that would last nearly a decade. The Gallic Wars were a brutal, relentless conquest. Caesar's legions marched through modern-day France, Belgium, and parts of Germany and Britain. He wasn't just a commander, he was a leader who shared the hardships of his soldiers, sleeping on the ground and eating the same rations. His personal bravery and tactical brilliance earned him the unwavering loyalty of his men. His detailed accounts, the commentaries on the Gallic War, were not just military reports but masterpieces of political propaganda, ensuring his name and victories were celebrated back in Rome. While Caesar was conquering foreign lands, the political landscape in Rome was shifting dramatically. Crassus was killed in battle, and the bond between Caesar and Pompey began to fracture. The Senate, led by conservatives like Cato the Younger, grew increasingly fearful of Caesar's popularity and military power. They saw him as a threat to the Republic's traditions. Pompey, once Caesar's ally and son-in-law, sided with the Senate. The stage was set for a confrontation. In 49 BC, the Senate delivered an ultimatum. Caesar must disband his army and return to Rome as a private citizen. To do so would mean facing certain prosecution and political ruin. Caesar stood at a crossroads, at the banks of a small river that marked the boundary of Italy, the Rubicon. Roman law forbade any general from crossing it with a legion. His decision would plunge the Republic into civil war. With the immortal words, Alea iacta est. The die is cast, Caesar led his 13th legion across the river. There was no turning back. The civil war was swift and decisive. Caesar's lightning campaign caught Pompey and the Senate completely off guard. He chased them out of Italy, pursuing them across the Adriatic to Greece. At the Battle of Pharsalus, despite being heavily outnumbered, Caesar's tactical genius and the veteran skill of his legions secured a stunning victory. Pompey fled to Egypt, seeking refuge, but was assassinated on the orders of the young pharaoh, Ptolemy XIII. Caesar followed him to Egypt, where he found himself embroiled in a local power struggle. It was here he met the enigmatic and intelligent Queen Cleopatra. Captivated by her, he sided with her in her civil war against her brother, securing her throne. Their alliance was both personal and political, resulting in a son, Caesarion, and giving Rome a stable, wealthy client state in the east. After solidifying his power in Egypt and quelling remaining resistance in Africa and Spain, Caesar returned to Rome not just as a conqueror, but as the undisputed master of the Roman world. Back in Rome, Caesar was showered with honors. He was made dictator, first for 10 years, and then, in 44 BC, dictator perpetuo, dictator for life. He initiated a series of sweeping reforms. He reformed the calendar, creating the Julian calendar we still use a version of today. He planned massive public works projects, settled his veterans on land, and extended Roman citizenship to people in the provinces. He sought to stabilize the Republic and address the social and economic problems that had plagued it for a century. But to many in the Senate, these actions weren't reforms. They were the actions of a king. The title of dictator for life confirmed their worst fears. Caesar intended to destroy the Republic and rule as an absolute monarch. A conspiracy began to form, a group of senators calling themselves the Liberators. Led by Marcus Junius Brutus, a man Caesar had once pardoned and treated like a son, and Gaius Cassius Longinus, they believed that killing Caesar was the only way to save the Republic. They planned their attack for the Ides of March 15th, 44 BC. On that fateful day, despite warnings and ill omens, Caesar went to the Senate meeting held at the Theatre of Pompey. As he sat, the conspirators surrounded him, pretending to present a petition. Suddenly, they drew daggers hidden in their togas. One by one, they struck. Reports say Caesar fought back until he saw Brutus among his attackers. In that moment of betrayal, he is said to have uttered his final heartbroken words, "It too, Brute. You too, Brutus." He then pulled his toga over his head and fell, lifeless, at the base of a statue of his former rival, Pompey. The conspirators believed they had restored liberty. They were wrong. Caesar's assassination did not save the Republic. It plunged Rome into another round of bloody civil wars. The power vacuum he left behind was ultimately filled by his adopted heir, Octavian, who would defeat all rivals and, under the name Augustus, become the first Roman emperor. Julius Caesar, the man who crossed the Rubicon, had cast a die that would lead, not to the rebirth of the Republic, but to the birth of the Roman Empire. His life was a testament to ambition, genius, and the fatal paradox that in his quest for power, he sowed the seeds of the very system he had sought to command. His name, Caesar, would become a title for emperors, a synonym for power that echoes through the ages. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of one of history's most compelling figures. If you enjoyed this documentary, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories from the past. Let us know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see us cover next.